Hey, so what's going on, Battlefielders? It is Pwn, and we are back with another close quarters gameplay. Today we are using that LSAT. Yeah, that's kind of an awkward iron sights on it. That's what we're using the entire game because after trying to unlock some of the attachments, I kind of awkwardly fell in love with it. And it's not because it's got a tight little hole to look through. It's actually because I've just got accustomed to it, you know? Sometimes you gotta understand, you see, some of you guys probably watch a lot of videos, a lot of reviews, a lot of people telling you, man, you should use this, you should use that. You go check out SimThick, see it in your horoscope, I don't know what, but so many people listen to everything else that other people say, and they don't try things out for themselves. I think that's the biggest tip I can give you guys today without possibly losing my wife, wink wink. And I think it's weird because a lot of people, now if it comes down to like heavy barrel is better than this and that, I mean, if you got the majority of people telling you something, you should probably try it out. If it's not for you, it's not for you, but go in there open-minded because I think that a lot of people are held back to their potential when they listen entirely to other people without forming their own opinions about things. That happens with anything in real life. Get outplayed, bitch. I'm Spider-Man, son. I'll drop down on you. Wait, Batman's the one that drops down, right? I don't know. Spider-Man swings. I don't know. I get fairies mixed up. So, we are back and intact. We are talking about the LSAT. I was going to say L86. I don't want to confuse them two because the one's hotter than the other one. The L86, I think, has bridged this gap in between like the assault rifles and the support. I think the L86 is the best. Let me repeat, even over the M27IAR, I think it is the best gun in the support class. And I think, even though that a lot of these maps are small and tiny, like my bulge, I have to go with the fact that they are just as valuable now, as you guys can tell, as I drop my C4 on that MacBook, that they're just as valuable now in close quarters. Now, a lot of tactics are weird. Now normally in regular thing, I frown on dropping C4 on an objective. But it's becoming so overwhelming that you just kind of got to play the part now. I think there's an even more use of support than there was before. I mean, support is a different class that a lot of people do not understand, and I don't even know how I survived this. I go to live like 3 more minutes. I don't even know what the fuck just happened. Jesus was with me today. But honestly, in reality, what happens is a lot of people undervalue the support class, and I think it's because there aren't really too many dominant weapons. From what I've experienced, I think the PKP is the best in the category. The M27IAR kind of gave that assault rifle rushing feel, an entirely different kind of aspect to the class, and a lot of people didn't like to use it because the clunkiness, you got to move around, the slow rate of fire, the possible crazy reload on the weapons. It's usually a big turnoff for a lot of people, and I don't understand. I never understood why there wasn't like one solid weapon, because in every category there's at least one solid weapon. SKS was pretty solid in recon, so on and so forth. M4A1, there's always been one dominant weapon, and there really hasn't been one of those in the support class. So I think it's the one that needed it the most, and I think the L86 actually bridged that kind of gap. I think they brought it in here. They gave you one that was similar to the L85. It kind of gives you that kind of controllable feel, and it's really, really a dominant factor. I mean, in between M27 and that, there's not too much of a difference. But for me, I prefer the L86 overall. The LSAT is great. I just unlocked extended mags for it. I haven't put an attachment on it yet. If I did, it would just be a simple red dot. I do have bipod on it because if I am using a giant LMG like this, I would like the ability to do that because a lot of people undervalue and do not take the time to use a class in a way it could be used. You got 200 bullets and you got a bipod. Put that thing up, suppress the hell out of the enemy team, do something with it. It could be a distraction. It could be an intimidating thing. Look at that, 2 points, bitch. And it could be so many crazy things. But and I'm glad that they brought in some of these decent weapons. Now, as comparing this weapon to another one, I don't think it's better than PKP. I think it's on par with like the M240B. So it's not this new breakaway kind of amazing gun, but it is not a bad weapon. Let me repeat, it is not a bad weapon. Kills pretty solidly. The recoil is maintainable. Usually in the first 5 to 7 bullets, you can actually maintain the recoil, and then it gets a little rough. So I think I make a couple of mistakes trying to adjust to it, and while unlocking the attachments, and it got a little challenging for me because I was doing exactly what I shouldn't do, and that was just holding down the trigger. I have found that every time I zoom down or aim down sight, it gets a little bit more challenging to control the recoil. So a lot of times, if I'm close to medium range, I've also found myself just hip firing and crossing my fingers and see if my luck can win me that gunfight. It doesn't always have to be about skill, guys. I'll take luck when I get it. You know what I mean? So just like my weapon, whenever you get it, take it, whatever. So it's just crazy. So overall, the LSAT's a pretty solid gun. It's not the best in the category, and compared to the L86, it's Yeah, it's meh, you know what I mean? It's different, entirely different. And that's exactly what I was talking about the C4. Let me talk a little bit about why I think it's more valuable to be having right now. A lot of these maps are small, and you're like, oh yeah, what's the value of C4? And this has probably happened to you, and it probably pisses you off, but let me tell you why I actually support it kind of, sort of ish, so I don't piss everyone off. The C4 on the objective in Conquest Old was just crazy. I mean, I didn't understand it. You had plenty of time to get there and save it. Nowadays, it takes like 5 seconds to capture an objective. That's just insanely quick. So if I'm up here, can I get to C in 5 seconds? No. Can I get to B in 5 seconds? No. What can I do? I can pull out my little happy trigger and blow the shit out of them. That came out wrong. Blow them the shit up. That didn't even sound right either. You know what? They're just going to die. Yeah, we'll go with that. So what happens is they all die. And it's just something that I like to do. It's something you rely on, especially when you're playing on smaller servers like 16-man servers. I mean, it's great to have the tactics, but just to stop it from being a giant ring around the rosy match, you probably want to just go ahead and take out that opportunity. And that's what the L86 I think offers: that rushing ability, that comfort that the assault rifle feel. But you also have the ability to use the C4 if you need. And there's so many like 3-story and 2-story buildings and balconies. You could just chuck that shit off the top and let it fall down on the enemies and get a kill with it. It's incredible. So I think the C4's got just as much of a value as it did then as it does now. So I think it's incredible. Try it out. Let me know what you guys think about the C4 and the objectives. Remember to leave a like and favorite. Check out the description down below. This is M16A3 signing off.